You are listening to the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast, following a Sens win to close out this 4-game road trip that could have been a road trip from hell, but now it's back-to-back wins in SoCal. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Piller. Sens win 3-2 in overtime. Pillsy, I want to get your immediate reaction, but not to the whole game. Just walk me through. I need to see it again, that OT game winner.
I mean, you can't draw it up much better than that, Ross. Like a two-line pass, backhand sauce from Timmy right on the tape to Claude Giroux. And I didn't know Claude Giroux had that bag of tricks in him. Like he goes side to side deke and just tucks it in there. And that happens, 20 seconds in to overtime? Yeah, 20 seconds into overtime, they get that done. Absolutely incredible. Finally, a late night game worth staying up for.
Not much gets me more fired up than an overtime where a Sens opponent does not even touch the puck. Claude Giroux wins the faceoff. They regroup it in their own zone. Timmy Stützle gets in a bit of a board battle. He comes out with it and goes way up. And we've got people in the chat saying reminiscent of the Erik Karlsson to Mike Hoffman pass. Certainly a little bit different in terms of there was a few more bodies between Karlsson and Hoffman. I think Giroux just found that quiet area. And a veteran like him, we just talked before coming on air, that's a set play 10 out of 10 times. I love the decision of starting your most dynamic offensive players in overtime. I love Brady. We'll get to the Sens Central standouts. He had a heck of a game, but you start Stützle, Giroux, and Chabot in overtime. I could see the argument for Jake Sanderson, crazy enough to say this early in his career, but they start and they get it done. That, to me, is the difference. Timmy's second assist of the night. He comes out with 2 points, over a point per game player, and it has to feel good against one of two teams that passed on him. Oh, wait, look, Pilsy, they play the other one twice this week in the New York Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, we talked a lot about this last season, Ross, when DJ Smith was not putting out the ideal OT lineup to start the period, right? Like, we love Brady, and we'll get to Brady as we go along here, but he's not the guy you want starting on the ice in OT. So you switch it up. Claude Giroux, he does a great job in the faceoff. He's a veteran guy that knows where to be, like we mentioned. I don't think that was a coincidence that he's hanging out at the blue line 3-on-3 when Timmy gets the puck behind his own net. They know what they're doing, and that works out perfectly. And sure, maybe you want Sanderson in there instead of Chabot, but Chabot had a nice game. And for a game where he plays 28 minutes and 11 seconds, normally Sens Twitter would be like, okay, that's too much ice time. What are we doing here? But I thought he had a nice game, and he gets 2 assists in this one, including one on the OT winner there. So all around, this is the kind of games we would have expected all season long, Ross. Like, the Senators play really well, and they get the result matching the process of their game. Whereas before, the process was decent, but they were not getting that result. And sure, they had to go to an extra frame to get it, but it looks all the same. Those 2 points look just as nice here, especially when you get a beautiful OT goal to cap it off here.
The Ottawa Senators outshot LA tonight 39-27. And outside of giving up 2 power play goals, were pretty solid throughout this game. How do you stop that shot from Arthur Kaliev, though, Pilsy? You knew it was coming. It was his third shot in about 30 seconds when he scored that first one, and then automatic on the second.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason he was drafted, 1 spot behind Pinto or 2?
I don't know. Him and Bobby Brink are pretty interchangeable in my mind.
They were right there. And those were the 3 guys everybody was kind of looking at. And with Kaliev, it's hilarious. I think it was Noodles that was saying he's a power play specialist because he plays on the 4th line, but he's on that top power play. Like, he only played 13 minutes, 50. So let's round up. We'll say 14 minutes. And a minute 37 of that was on the power play. He doesn't typically get a lot of 5-on-5 time, but when you got a rocket like that, and it was very clear that the LA Kings strategy is to set up Kaliev on the power play. He had 2 opportunities before that goal, and before he scored, he's beaver tapping on the ice for that puck. and teammates aren't annoyed. They're like, yeah, we're going to try to get you that puck. And for a damn good reason. What a shot. Wow.
We don't call that beaver tapping anymore. We call that hammocking.
Yeah,
Oh
no
my God.
kidding.
He's so funny. He did that 3 times on one shift in the first period, and then he'd get it and fire it 15 feet wide.
Hey, the guy's got 2 goals this season, Ross. He's hot.
It was incredible confidence there. This game started with Brady Tkachuk. 4 minutes and 55 seconds in, he gets his 9th goal of the season, assisted by Chabot and Giroux. But what I love on this one is it's his first goal in his career against the LA Kings, leaving only Chicago as the remaining franchise that he's played against but failed to score.
Great trivia question, by the way.
I don't want a bunch of mad people in the comments. And Ottawa. He hasn't scored against Ottawa. You're so smart. He also hasn't scored against Chicago. He'll have an opportunity to do that coming up. Twice. They play them both, but that's one of the games at home. He'll want to put on a show the day Chris Neil gets his jersey retired later on in February. That's against the Hawks. He does have 3 assists in those games. All right, so Brady opens the scoring. Just a bang play. You want to walk us through that, Pilsy? And we'll peel back the curtain here before, I guess it is after dark. It's 1:40 a.m. Eastern time.
It is definitely after dark. Yeah.
I start the stream. I hit the music, and then I look on Twitter and I see Pilsy go, just crack the tall boy. It's 1:30. So as we're ready, we always give it a minute to allow people to enter. I ran over to the fridge, grabbed one. So take me through the captain's 9th goal of the season.
There you go. Let me get to my notes here. There we go. Oh, yeah. So what I like about this, Ross, is Brady wins the draw. And we talk about this all the time. A winger that's able to dominate in the faceoff dot and is used heavily in the faceoff dot is such an asset to have. And that's just part of Brady Tkachuk captain shit, his resume, just one of the many things that he does. And then he gets right to work in his office. He doesn't waste any time getting to the front of the net because that's where he's most effective. He's battling the defender there. Chabot takes the point shot. It misses, hits off the boards. And Brady's been doing this all year where he battles and he knows that shot is coming off the boards and he gets to it first. I believe this is his 2nd, maybe even 3rd goal where he's been able to capitalize off a shot hitting the boards and then coming right there. And for Jonathan Quick, there's no chance there because Brady's so quick on it. He's so strong. It doesn't take him any time. He's so comfortable playing in front of the net like that. So that puts these guys up 1-0. And you got to love that from Brady. If you guys aren't, Leems Martian is on this, Ross, and I'm hopping on this train too. If you guys aren't betting Brady Tkachuk over on 3.5 shots every single game, you're missing out at betonline.ag because that's been a pretty consistent prop bet to hit, Ross?
Yeah, and BetOnline tries to hide it by making it minus 120, minus 130. I'm pretty sure that's paid out in like 15 out of 20 games this year.
That's the thing. Like sometimes I get deterred by the minuses because you're like, it's not great odds. But if you know it's going to pay out, who cares what the odds are, right?
A win is a win, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, so Brady's 9th of the year, we already said, courtesy of Thomas Chabot, Claude Giroux as well. And then in the start of the 2nd period, I mean, my last note here for the first is Travis Hamonic is so funny. He's so funny, but we already talked about that. Oh, my other one, right after the goal, we knew this was coming. You tweeted out your concern, the late turnover from the Clippers, and they took all the hardwood. And sure enough, we get an 8-minute delay, just what you need at a 10 o'clock start. But silver lining, the next late 10 o'clock start, not till March 9th in Seattle.
Yeah, that's definitely good news. And even Thomas Chabot in the first period intermission was like, yeah, the ice sucks. And that's not a surprise. And you guys know, I've said it multiple times. One of my favorite things is watching the sped up transitions of switching the court to the ice. I love watching that, but man, that is cutting it close. And apparently there was concerts. The ice hasn't been put in there in a couple days. TSN 1200 was tweeting out. So you knew it was going to be one of these. And yeah, this was a game to hit the under. Hopefully all you gambling degenerates out there were like, oh, the ice is bad. Under. I know I hit the under, and that ended up working out pretty nicely.
Yeah, it certainly did. So great opening period, I think. Like Ottawa put 19 shots on goal. LA
amazing opening period. Yeah.
Just did really well. It was almost perfectly boring in some senses as well. There was never really the high danger efforts. Beside, Talbot was making saves look easy, controlling his rebounds. And then early on in the second, I was so nervous that this was going to be one of those Ottawa can't get the second one after they get the first. I mean, ultimately, it ended up being that for a moment. But how about that doorstep opportunity that Brady set up for Timmy early on in the second period? Wide
Yeah.
open.
I mean, that whole power play was just bumping, eh? Like, they had a couple good opportunities, and you don't get one there. But that's the nice thing about the Sens in this game is they were getting high danger scoring opportunities, and it wasn't like they were colossally like screwing them up. Like, it was close. They were setting them up. The right guys were in the right spots, and ultimately it ends up going to OT. But I was pretty pleased with how the Sens executed here.
I feel like a lot of middle six guys struggle at breakaways, or is it just a Sens issue?
Oh my God. Well, I think part of that too, Ross, is everyone's like, oh my God, of course, Connor Brown, Tyler Mott, Eric Condra, of course, these guys get breakaways. Well, yeah, duh. You're not going to leave a guy like Claude Giroux wide open to get a break. Oh, wait, actually, the LA Kings did do that. But you get what I'm saying, all jokes aside. Like, normally those guys get breakaways because those are guys that defenses of opponents are willing to be like, okay, we can cheat a little, and if they get a breakaway, we're not too concerned.
Like Tyler Mott in that.
Yeah, Tyler Mott is the exact example. Although I don't hate the move going for a low shot here, but when you have the time and space that Tyler Mott had there, like, try something a little extra rather than that. And quick shout out to Pamo here for the super comment charity donation here. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that. So then every goal in the second period was on the power play. Pilsy, we mentioned Kaliev had two, and in between those two LA goals, Alex DeBrincat. Don't let the cat get hot. He gets a beauty feed from the captain, Brady Tkachuk's 7th multi-point game of the season, and DeBrincat goes short side. Great play.
Meow. I mean, what else you got to say there? That's the cat just having a really good opportunity that he buries. And what I like here, the note that I made about this goal, Ross, I'm always looking at the assists with goals because that's where I focus in on, is Timmy's one-timer gets blocked, but he recovers it right away. Like, I think some players, your shot gets blocked, and then maybe you're frustrated or you try to hold back and stay in your little zone there. But Timmy doesn't hold back. He goes right for it. He gets that puck after it's blocked, because if it gets blocked and you don't recover it, then it's an issue. But if it gets blocked, you got to tip your hat to the defender. But if you get that loose puck, who cares? And that's what Timmy does. And he keeps the play moving, and he passes it over to Brady. And then Brady, he knows Alex DeBrincat is in that backdoor position. He hits him quickly, and there's no chance for Jonathan Quick on that one. Great play all around.
Great play all around. We love to see it. Alex DeBrincat, his 6th goal of the season. Ottawa took a lead briefly because Arthur Kaliev scored on the power play. We've got someone in the comments mentioning that's 4 games in a row with a penalty for Travis Hamnick. It was a roughing play. I thought it was a bit of a soft call, but you have to be able to stay out of the box, especially when you've had a few days in a row that's been the case. Pilsy, let's say a word from one of our favorite sponsors. Get into that third period of touch. We've got our Send Central standouts, and it's going to be an interesting moment finding out who gets the goggles from Brady Tkachuk. Before our quick word, though, Pilsy, let's decide the options. I put down Stützle, Talbot, Giroux. Who else? Who's
Brady.
the fourth option?
Brady.
He's got them. You always want to give it to him.
Oh, man, every single time. You said Shabbat as well?
No, but I actually have him written down. I just didn't want to take all 4.
Yep, let's do Shabbat.
All right. You have your say, Pilsy. Let's talk about our friends at Bet Online.
Yes, our friends at Bet Online. We are now friends again, Ross, because I was feeling good enough that, hey, the Sens were buzzing. I wanted to get some live action on there, but, not every site has the updated odds. Not every site it's so easy to go to. Not our Bet Online. It's the trusted online sportsbook of the Locked On Podcast Network. And for a good reason. You can find all the latest odds, news, scores, player performance props like the Brady shot. That hit, thank you very much. Totals under, the under hit, and money line. Ottawa Senators money line. And hey, It's not just hockey, guys. I was locked into the Bengals game today, won a little extra cash on that too, because they got football, they got basketball. Unfortunately, Canada doesn't get it done in the World Cup, but you can have your wagers on that as well, because BetOnline covers it all. So go to the website today or check it out on your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. Guys, it's betonline.net, where the game starts.
Ottawa Senators win 3-2 in overtime against the Los Angeles Kings. And there are 200 people live on YouTube at 1:50 a.m. Eastern. If you are listening to this in your car on Monday morning, welcome. The vibes are high, and I hope that before you got into the car, you were able to watch the highlight of Tim Stützle going backhand two-line pass and Claude Giroux taking Jonathan Quick to the high school dance, going left, going right, shake, shimmy, and putting it in to the back of the net. What a treat Claude Giroux's been for the Ottawa Senators this season. He gets a goal and an assist tonight. A multi-point game for Claude Giroux, Tim Stützle 2 assists, goal and an assist for Brady Tkachuk, and 2 assists for Thomas Chabot. So five Senators. Can I count? No. 4 Senators, all with multi-point efforts. Alex DeBrincat, the lone other Senator to get on the board, scoring 1 goal on 5 shots as well. All right, Pilsy, who is your Sen Central standout? We'll do 2. Lead us off.
I was going to say, we definitely need to do 2 here. And I'm in between 2 players. I'm going to go with Tim Stützle, though. I mean, anytime you're able to pull off a pass like that, like, this is where we're really starting to see the incredible play of Tim Stützle, because he has that awareness, and when you can combine that with the ability, like a backhand sauce that goes over 2 lines on 3-on-3, like that is just so clutch right to Claude Giroux, and he had another assist earlier on, and I just thought Timmy had a really good game. 3 shots on goal, 22 minutes played. I really liked his play, and I'll be honest, there's some guys that I think had a better overall game, but when you make a pass like that and a play like that on the game-winning goal, it's hard not to go to my guy, Timmy. So Tim Stützle, my Sen Central standout.
I noticed you didn't bring up his face-off percentage.
Yeah, as I was going through the stat line, I was like, good. We'll hop over that one.
2 wins on 9 face-offs for Tim Stützle. Nice.
Who cares? Stats are for losers, Ross. He gets the primary assist on the game winner.
Count it. It was an absolute beauty for sure. I'm hoping you're going to leave me my second choice, but we can't get this far into the show without shouting out Cam Talbot. 25 saves on 27 shots tonight. He was excellent. 24 for 24, I may add, at even strength. The only ones that beat him were those grade A snipes from Arthur Kaliev. One area in particular, and it was at the start of the 3rd period. Huge save on Kempe, first shift. The initial effort, I think it was Kopitar, hit a body in front, might have been Mott. Then the play came around right back to the slot, similar to the Stützle chance, actually, in the 2nd period. He was in that same quiet area, same spot on the ice, actually, and unbelievable save there. Then the play goes the other way, only to turn right back around. Deneau hits the post. Is that all? No. He makes another huge save on a high redirect, and then the breakaway on Anderson Dolan. Any of those go in, we might not have had that Giroux play in overtime. So Cam Talbot, my first Sen Central standout.
Love it. I'm glad you went with him. And Ross, that Anderson one wasn't the only breakaway. He had a really nice save on Trevor Moore, a breakaway out of the box. And Sanderson did a good job of holding him wide and tying up his man, but Talbot still had to stand strong. Like, this is what I was saying when we talked about, I think it was after the Sharks game, who should start. And obviously Forsberg is injured and you're probably not going to start Mandolese. So Talbot's the easy answer. But I mentioned Talbot because I wanted to give him a chance to get into rhythm. And I've thought he's been the better goalie of late. And it's shown these last 2 games. So Cam Talbot is definitely worthy of a Sen Central standout. Hashtag goalie friendly show.
All right. As we go back to you here, I'm going to tease this because we never know when the video will come out. We are through 110 votes right now. Claude Giroux at 44% leading the way as to who should get the goggles. Tim Stützle at 30%, Cam Talbot at 17%, and Thomas Chabot at 8%. Are one of those players your next standout?
No, because my next standout is currently suntanning right now. He has the goggles. It's Brady Tkachuk.
Of course.
That is my next Sun Central standout. A goal and an assist, 7 shots on goal and a hit, and he played under 20 minutes, which is actually kind of surprising for Brady here, but the captain just leads by example. Like, he is the face of the franchise for a reason. He's able to bury when he has the opportunities. He makes that great play in front of the net, like I talked about. He gets a perfect pass over to DeBrincat for the backdoor goal on the power play. He's getting pucks on net. Like, I think it'd be much easier, Ross, for us to point out games where Brady Tkachuk wasn't a Sun Central standout rather than games that he was. Like, it seems every single time, whether it's me, Martian, you, Jack, whoever's on the postcast, he's getting a Sun Central standout shout out from one of us. So once again, shout out to the captain shit for all the haters. I know out of the 195 people here, there's probably not many, but there were people that doubted what Brady could do and thought that contract was too much too soon. I feel pretty damn good about it because he's showing on a night in and night out basis. He's gonna bring it, and I know we've mentioned this so many times, but I cannot wait to see playoff Brady. Oh my God.
25 points on the season for Brady Tkachuk in 21 games. An absolute star in the league. He's actually first in Corsi percentage on the entire team, too. So even
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
in the his shot attempts, this guy's taken 10 every game. So certainly he's going to have that number in his favor. Tonight, he had a casual, he's above 50%, but really, and I just want to give this as an honorable mention as I wrap up my citizen afterwards. The fourth line controlled play tonight. 91% Corsi for the entire line. When they were on the ice for 8 minutes at 5-on-5, 11 shot attempts for, and only 1 against.
Yeah.
So they had their battles, and their expected goal percentage, obviously it's going to be good, 98.5% with that. So the fourth line, they were banging bodies. How about Austin Watson? Woo! And you hear the mic caught in the arena from the Sens bench, somebody going, choo choo.
You'll love to see that. And that's like, Casty is back. He got healthy scratched. He wasn't exactly impacting play much, but now that he's back, that fourth line has their identity, and it's banging bodies like you talked about, and they play a physical game. I thought Parker Kelly had a good couple shots on net too, some nice quick wristers that, they're not grade A scoring chances, but they allow you to get pressure in the O zone and then get a quick change to get that top line out for an O zone faceoff, which, hey, that's a good fourth line shift, punching in and punching out of the work clock there.
Would you like to answer Lord Donk Lord's question?
Lord Donk Lord, I would love to answer your question. I was waiting for you to ask. Mark Kaslick, how about 75% in the faceoff dot? I mean, this guy just gets it done. I'm a big Casty fan, that's for sure.
Ooh, Casty.
Casty.
All right. For another guy who is just exceptional all over the ice, he was 50% in the circle tonight, but he also has a goal and an assist. Claude Giroux has been even better than I expected him to be coming into this team. He just controls it. I love what I saw. I don't know if you noticed during the Zamboni issue with the door, he was in there at the other end of the bench. He went down and was walking Jake Sanderson through a certain play, whatever it was. But you could see the teaching going on.
Yep.
And then we've had some people in the chat talking about the father-son connection on the OT as maybe Giroux will take that persona with Tim Stützle going forward. Looked to me like they had okay chemistry. Maybe we'll see them at 5-on-5 more often. I know he's been back up there a bit with Brady as well recently, but
gotta keep him on that line with Brady and Timmy, in my opinion. You got it.
They were solid tonight, and man, it's crazy how the wins can change with a couple results, because they played this similar way in terms of shot differential, etc., against Vegas. But tonight, I think the bottom line is Cam Talbot bailed them out in important situations like that trio of opportunities early in the third period. I don't know if they fall behind at the start of third. I don't know if they come back or if that's one of those that's a mountain that just immediately looks too high to climb.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And that's the thing. We've seen games where it looks like the Senators are playing better statistically. They're looking better. But the thing too is I thought the 5-on-5 play was much better for the Sens here. Like the only two goals the LA Kings get are on the power play. And sure, I think it's like something like 5 straight games where the Sens have allowed a power play goal against. So you don't love to see that. But 5-on-5 up against a team like the LA Kings, I thought they played really well.
Except for the Anaheim game. They snapped that streak there, but it's 6 of the last 7 games they've allowed
Oh,
a power
okay.
play goal against, and you can
Yeah.
actually go even further back. Get this. This season, the Ottawa Senators have allowed a power play goal against in 16 of the 21 games.
Yeah, so
That's a
but
lot.
but I would say, Ross, that's more a shining the light on how undisciplined they've been rather than how bad the penalty kill's been, right? Like I'm not saying the penalty kill hasn't been amazing, but when you're taking as many penalties as the Sens have, like what do you expect?
Yeah, ironically, in their 3 games they've taken the most penalties, they've only given up 2 power play goals against on 24 opportunities.
But the
Whereas
0 for 6 Ducks is the anomaly there. Like that really changes things.
100%. Let's give Thomas Chabot his flowers before we wrap up because we got to save some content for tomorrow morning. Locked On Senators. You can find it on your favorite podcast
In a
platform
few hours, Ross.
and on YouTube. We are, I think you'll understand, going to forego Postcast After Dark. The whole Postcast is After Dark when it starts after 1 a.m. It's now 1 a.m. for me, Central Time. So 2 a.m. for the Easterners. And I know y'all out in Halifax, New Brunswick, it's even later out there. But what a win. Well worth staying up for. And for those who are just waking up to that OT winner, it's going to be a fantastic Monday. My whole body clock's messed up, not only from being
Yeah,
out
you've
west,
been through a crazy schedule.
but also like Friday, Sunday. We never get that. Like last night, I was starting to get the itch. I was like, it's Saturday night. Where's the Sens game?
Yeah, I typically work at the bar every Sunday because the Sens don't play on Sunday. So yeah, this was a weird one for me too, but it feels good. And Ross,
We got New Zealand in the chat, 8 p.m.
oh, there we
We're
go.
prime time. We're on primetime TV, Pillsy.
Let's
What up?
go. Thank you for the Kiwi supporters, the Kiwi Sens fans out there. I know I've been up and down this last week like crazy, but I am off of Team Tank. Screw Team Tank. I'm done with that. And obviously, I still don't think they have a chance to get to the playoffs. They're still so far out of things, but I want to watch this team win. Like that was so much fun watching these players click and watching Giroux and Timmy connect on that OT goal. The whole draft is supposed to be good. So no matter where they finish, I think they're going to draft someone good. So if you're still on Team Tank, no, get out of here, Mr. Dover. Mr. Dover, good night to you. We're not spinning the wheel. Team Tank that was a week ago. We're past that now. Let's just watch this team win, lose. Who cares about the draft lottery standings? Because it is still November, and I don't want to get into that. So I'm enjoying these wins. I'm glad Positive Pillsy was back for the Anaheim Ducks game, even though the Tankers wanted to lose that. I told you, Ross, that I didn't want to have to split this series for the rest of the road trip. I wanted to win both those games, even though it didn't make sense. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. I feel good right now. I don't know about everyone here in the chat, but that felt really good to watch the Ottawa Senators win a game in overtime like that.
Yes, and the chat is making me really feel the reach of everything right now. As we've got Chris Traveler here from the Middle East.
Wow.
We've got DJ Eritz in Hawaii, 9 p.m. out there. We've got Andrew in Taiwan. It's 3 p.m. there. And Shen Kursen in Switzerland.
This is insane, guys. Holy moly.
We absolutely love to see it. Callum, I might be spinning the wheel on the down low right under my desk here.
No, come on. Get out of here. I just did a monologue about the Team Tank being out the window. Come on.
And Sens aren't even in the hunt. We got Australia in the house. Let's go. Newfoundland, absolutely. Love to see it, guys.
That's awesome.
The Sens jumped up like 3 spots in the standings, so the Tankathon wouldn't even be as fun anymore It was just wild, the circumstances around them being in 31st. They're already in 29th, Pilsy.
They're climbing the standings. Look out.
They're climbing. Nothing can stop them except for the week ahead. What do we have ahead? We'll talk about it more on Locked On Senators versus the Rangers on Wednesday, at the Rangers at MSG on Friday, and then back home for the first back-to-back of the entire season when they'll host the San Jose Sharks. Lots more to come. We'll try to get some guests locked down over the next week or two. Meth will be back on the show.
Yes.
And
yeah, we need Meth back.
Meth called it. He said there's going to be 2 wins. While we spoke, did you say 2 wins plus the loser point? So you didn't get it, and I'm a complete idiot. I said 3 wins. So away she goes.
Yeah, that's the way she goes. I don't want to wrap up just yet, though, Ross. Let's get a couple listener questions here. I got about this much left in my beer. Let's get a couple more questions in here. The vibes are good. I got too much adrenaline going through to just wrap it up and go to bed here.
Perfect tease. If you're listening in the car, tune in tomorrow. Locked On Senators. For the rest, you will be right back with the Postcast After Dark.
We're going after dark?
The Ottawa Senators.
We're going after dark.
Have defeated the LA Kings by a score of 3-2. Stick around if you're live on YouTube. If you aren't, you can always watch the replay on the Locked On Senators YouTube channel. It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, Belsy, do you have any in particular you want to get to right away?
I just want to say, remember 4 days ago when I said I'm not really feeling like a fan of this team, more like a broadcaster covering this team? Screw that. I am an Ottawa Senators fan once again. So I don't know. Have I said it enough? This feels great. I'm so glad you guys are here. We're not going to do an After Dark. We're here after dark. It is way too late, early in the morning. What do we call it? I don't know, but I'm feeling good. If you guys got listener questions, hit us up. Let's go.
All right, you got anything in particular right off the bat? Is this the start? Bizla writing in. We appreciate Bizla.
Yes, Bizla.
A couple toonies in the tip jar. Nothing wrong with that. Is this the start of Alex DeBrincat heating up?
That's an interesting question because you could say he's been cold since he's a sniper and he hasn't been scoring that much, but he's still getting points fairly consistently, even if it seems like it's a quiet kind of point stacking up here. But I really think we all needed to have tempered expectations on DeBrincat because moving away from Kane's a big deal. Moving to a different country is a big deal. Having your first kid is a big deal. There's a lot of changes going on in his life. I think it's just going to take some time, and we're seeing it. Sure, that wasn't exactly a highlight reel goal that he scored, but he didn't have a lot of time and space, and Quick got over there, and the angle wasn't great, and he still buries it. So to answer your question, Bizla, I think we are going to see DeBrincat be hotter than he has been so far. I'll put it that way, for sure.
I mean, overall, the points are still...
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So it's interesting the fact that the goals maybe haven't been there, but tonight he gets his 6th goal, his 17th point in 21 games. Like, that's about the same pace he had last year.
Right? So if it just is a matter of him getting more assists rather than goals,
you still want to see him finish a little bit more.
Definitely, but I think it's just what I'm saying is I think it's going to take time. Check back in around the new year, and if he's not scoring goals at his typical pace, we'll revisit that.
Our boy Jack Richardson making note 4 goals in Alex DeBrincat's last 8 games.
Yep.
City's Designs. Who are the weakest links on forward and D right now? Who would we like to see recalled from Belleville? This kind of opens the door into tomorrow's conversation where every Monday on Locked On Senators, we get into which prospects are impressing us around the entire landscape. So we'll save our flowers for Angus Crookshank on tomorrow's show, 6 weeks in for the kid. But let's start with the first half of that question. Who do you think right now are the weakest links, the first guys out of the lineup? On D, it's pretty easy for me, and we've got some people in the chat who have already jumped on it too.
Yeah, I'll just hit that. It's a low hanging fruit. Holden hasn't looked great.
High hanging though. He's like 6'5".
Yeah, yeah. And a little tidbit by Thomas Chabot. Holden's Muzzy's looking good, but he's got the Just for Men
What
going
are you
on that.
feeling about that?
Is that a disqualification for a 38-year-old having to use some enhancing drugs to up that mustache? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean we've seen 38-year-olds have use it, right? Better health, but you know what I mean? With the mustache, that's tough. I'm actually surprised because I feel like he's always got a bit of facial hair, doesn't he?
Yeah, I just don't think it was as dark.
Weird play. Yeah.
Yeah, very very interesting. But like, but that answer has already happened, right? Like, I think you get Lassie instead of Holden. I think that's the play. Sure, you don't exactly draw it up as having four of your defensemen under the age of what, like 23 in Sanderson, Branny, Lassie Thompson, and I mean, when JVD's back, you can throw him in that mix too. So I think that answers the question on D. On forward, it's tough because I think some nights Kelly doesn't have it, but he's been looking good lately, and some nights Mott doesn't have it, but he's been getting some opportunities. So I don't know. I think on forward, the answer would be you get Crooker on a third line role, recall him from Belleville, and move Mott down to the fourth line, and kind of interchange him and Kelly depending on how physical you want the matchup to be. But that's where I would go. But those are the obvious answers.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Parker Kelly to me, has he really been great all year? Tonight, obviously, the fourth line was solid. If he can keep that up, that's great.
Yeah, that's
I,
what I mean. I think he can be an interchangeable guy. I don't think you want him playing like 82 games a year, but there's times where it's like, okay, this is a bigger, stronger team. Let's get Kelly in here instead of Tyler Mott.
Fair. I feel like a lot of people want to hear me say Ridley Gregg as the forward to call up. I
No,
really, I mean, we saw the Josh Norris trajectory, and I think that being down there the whole season, very good call for Ridley Gregg. That to say, if they need some immediate help, and people might laugh at me for this, who's the guy who scores every big goal that the Belleville Sens score this year? It's Rourke Chartier. This guy is
oh, okay.
and you heard DJ Smith talk to us about Chartier and Lucchini are his like.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lucchini on that one, but Chartier also is the guy.
Chartier's got 10 goals in 18 games.
Yep.
Four of them are on the power play. And is it two? Two or, oh, yeah, two plus a shootout one, but are game winning goals. Like this guy has just been clutch. So that would be my undercover. Like, you know what? If you don't want to call up a prospect just for a couple games, you want to give a guy like a game or two. I
Yeah,
probably
throw those guys a bone. Yeah,
like Agazino. He played what, like 5 games for Ottawa?
get a sniff. Yeah.
A little sniff. Okay, yeah, let's finish up with this one because it was discussed today at intermission with Bruce Garriock was Alex Formanton's deadline is now 46 hours away. And the way I mean, they dance around the whole Hockey Canada issue. There's nothing new to report, but obviously he was on that team. However, there's a lot of guys who are on that team who are still playing. And with Alex Formanton, he has a qualifying offer. It's not a good offer based on his service time. It's a two-way deal if he accepts the qualifying offer.
Yeah,
So
but does a two-way deal matter if
yeah,
you
he's
don't
making
anticipate going to Belleville?
but they could send it to him if they really think that they're done with him. They want to wash their hands for if that's the reason, or if they've just moved on, or if they want him to be a trade bait. I don't know, but if they're done with him, which I mean, he's been the only RFA for a month. From a pure salary perspective, they could send him to the minors, and he would be making like 90 grand.
80K, yeah. But if you're Alex Formanton, I guess you just wait till Thursday 4 p.m. and if nothing changes, then you just sign it, right? Because you don't want to go to Europe or Russia and have to
Oh,
deal with that
he would
change. And sure, you might make more money,
dominate.
but
He would dominate a European league with his speed in the big ice.
oh, absolutely, yeah. But
Oh,
that's
Thursday at 5 p.m. is 87 hours. I looked at my watch. It said 46.
yeah, we literally have T-shirts in our merch store that says "Not Math Guys" with our face on it. So
Yeah.
we are not math guys. But I guess that's the play if you're Formanton. I kind of glossed over the fact that he was offered a qualifying offer. When
Had
I
to
didn't,
be.
I didn't know he had to be. I thought the Senators can.
No,
I
if you're
guess
an
they have to qualify him to keep his rights, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I must have missed when that happened, when that officially happened. But yeah, if I'm Formanton, I'm waiting till Thursday 4 p.m. and then I'm signing it. But I don't know what the Sens are going to do here. It's a very interesting situation. And again, we are fully aware of the Hockey Canada aspect of this story. We're not dancing around it, but once again, there's no new news to report, unfortunately. So the story has not shifted or changed at all. The
No,
only
and
thing that's going to change here is a time deadline of December 1st, 5 p.m. That's the only thing
yeah,
that changes this story.
yeah, and there's probably 10 to 12 guys from that team who are in the NHL right now.
Yeah, you mentioned most of those guys playing. All of them are playing. Alex
Comp-
Formanton is the only player not signed right now and not playing.
yeah. Super interesting to see what happens with that Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Any final ones you want to get to here, Pilsy? Anything you had in the chamber? Shout
No,
out
I mean
to
the Formy thing was the big one. I'm glad we touched on that because it's getting very close here.
Can't
Go
control.
get your chicken shawarma. Yeah, definitely do that.
We announced since it's after dark. Like it's. I think we're fair too. We can at
Yeah,
least
the
next
deal
week.
signed. So
Next week, Locked On Senators will have a presenting Postcast sponsor, and we're working on making it so that it can be the official pub of the Ottawa Senators.
yes,
Locked
very
On Senators.
very excited about this one. It's a game changer for us, and it's a good partnership for us. And speaking of new partnerships, if you guys haven't already capitalized on the farm to fork delivery deals, Zoob 15 for 15% off, and they're doing Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. Go check that out because Ross, you know what I've been thinking about since we signed the deal with Farm to Fork? Those Wagyu beef
Yeah,
burgers.
yeah.
Oh my God. There's a place in town, no free ads, that does Wagyu beef burgers, and they are incredible. So go get your own and fire those up on your own grill at Farm to Fork.
100%. And by supporting sponsors, you're supporting us. And the reason why it's Zoob 15 is so that everybody knows that it's the number 2 in the title.
Yep.
Farm to Fork delivery service. Let's just announce it right now because I want to know. Let us know in the chat if you've ever heard of this pub. They took over a couple years ago. Pilsy, look, I had to stretch it out. It was this tiny little thing. What do you think here in the top corner? Nice little logo there. The Locked On Senators
Love it.
Postcast is presented by the Glebe Central Pub. Have you guys ever had a pint there? We're fired up to get into town. We're going to do a live show, I think, there when we come in for that Chris Neil retirement game. So breaking news at 2:15 Eastern time.
Yeah, that is the plan. We talked about doing a live show there. That's going to be so cool. I've never been able to check out Glebe Central Pub, but we're fired up about it. And we're going to have Glebe Central standouts instead of Sen Central standouts. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. And also, guys, if you guys are in the area, they are legit Sens fans. They want to get you guys to games. They have a program set up where they're going to have a bus pick you up at Glebe Central Pub and head right to the game from there. So you got to check that out. That's awesome.
That's awesome for sure. All right, plenty to come. This has been great. When the Sens win, isn't it just make everything a little bit nicer?
It really does. Like Sad Boy Pilsy was here just a couple days ago, and now Positive Pilsy is thriving right now. And
Double digits out of the playoffs.
I just knocked my ring light down. Good save by my foot, though. The lighting is still key here. And yeah, Ross, a couple postcasts ago, I think the Sharks one, I was falling asleep at the end of the postcast. I could go another hour here. Like I'm ready to roll.
I know we're literally recording in 6 hours, though, man. Oh, it's so good, man.
Yeah, hey, shout out to all you guys still here. 164, like
Just guys, dude, just hanging out. The Sens win.
Sens fans are the best. Love you guys.
Somebody needs to make. You know how you always talk about how obsessed you are with like the transition between the basketball court to the hockey court. I want somebody to put together the transition from sad Pilsy to happy Pilsy the last 4 days. Just like kind of, what do you call it? Where it's the same shot, a time lapse. Of you just turning your whole mood up or right side up. The Sens won 2 straight. Now, I think I saw a question from our friend in Switzerland earlier on, and I'm trying to pull it up, but I know the gist of it. I do want to shout out the name. However, what are you expecting from the New York Rangers? We're going to talk to John Chick. I haven't told you yet. Tuesday morning. So we'll do one
I
of those.
love John Chick. Great
Bonus.
dude.
Such a beauty. Those are two big games, though, on a team that's kind of been hot and cold throughout the year.
Talk about a measuring stick game. I would say that's a pretty good measuring stick game. Like that's where you want to be, is where the New York Rangers are. And Lafreniere, Tim Stützle, that's a juicy storyline to sink your teeth into. And look, you need, like, going on a West Coast trip and splitting 4 games 2-2. Cool, that's nice. But ultimately, it doesn't even make that much of a difference. You need to be winning these games up against Eastern teams. Like, those are the games you got to get up for, because those points really matter. And I know the Rangers are in the Metro Division, but even more emphasized is the Atlantic Division games. But when the Ottawa Senators have a chance to kind of knock down bigger opponents in the East, they have to do that. Like, they're trying to play meaningful games here. These are meaningful games up against the New York Rangers coming up.
Half of the Ottawa Senators wins this season. They've won 8 games, right? Yes, they've won 8 games. Half of them have come against Western Conference teams.
Yeah, and how many of those losses? Like, have they beat an Atlantic Division team? They beat the Sabres. That was it. That's it.
They also beat the Bruins right in front of your face.
Oh yeah. It was a bad day to be a Molson that day, so forgive me if I've forgotten that one.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, there you go. Mighty Mike with the storyline. Cam Talbot against the team that gave him his first chance at the NHL level.
Yeah, definitely. You love that.
So that's good. All right. Chief Burr. Let's end with a little tire pump. Don't fire us for this though, because we're talking to you guys about a compliment. You didn't read the deposition I sent you today. Wild
No.
story with a guest of this show, Rachel Dory, who was on with us.
Oh yeah. That is an ongoing, very interesting story.
Yeah, definitely worth seeing on Twitter for sure.
Hey, shout out Chief Burr. Thank you. And Ross, I was blown away by all the engagement we got on our 3-year anniversary for Locked
That's
On.
sick.
It was great. All the compliments you guys tossed out, and let's just say we appreciate having you guys shine some light on us when the big company, the big boss man, is able to see those. It goes a long way.
Yeah, it certainly does. Next up for us is ordering those NASCAR jackets with all the sponsors on it, because we're selling out in the best way. The show won't change at all, except now instead of hearing all those ads from like the States, now there's just going to be more local ads, and we get to shine a light on companies that you'll actually use and see on a day-to-day basis.
And what do we say, Ross? We're trying to build the community. So that's why us finding local sponsors, sure, it puts a couple extra shekels in our wallet, but we're trying to build this community. Like, Ross, you have Instagram posts of Shawarma Palace from like 2013. You literally love this place. Every time I go to Ottawa, we go there. It's a part of being in Ottawa. It's a part of the Ottawa Senators. It's a part of the fans. Farm to Fork is a local business where a Sens fan loved the business and bought it. And now he's creating Zoob 15 promo codes. Glebe Central, Glebe Central standout. That's what I was about to say. Glebe Central Pub is trying to get more fans to the Sens games. They're friends with our buddy Sensual Healing Graham. It's all part of the community. We're trying to build everything up here. We're trying to get things going.
100%. And I'm not trying to be rude. Look at my phone. I do want to pull this up though right here. Hands down the best shawarma place in Ottawa. Hashtag late night munchies. Hashtag food porn, which I guess I used as a hashtag back in 2013.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like
look at that platter.
Yeah, we want to do everything we can for Sens. We want to make Sens fans' life a little bit better. That's what we're trying to do.
Just a little bit better to be an Ottawa Senators fan. All right, Pilsy, final thoughts. Sens win 3-2. And right after we wrap up here, I'm literally just going to go watch that Giroux goal probably 2, maybe 3 times before bed.
Yeah, I honestly might crack another beer, watch the full game over, and then play Chell Sens versus Kings on my own after, because this is just great. Last thoughts. Go Sens, go. The the tank movement sucked. I hated that. We're not doing that anymore, Ross.
worst,
The
worst Tuesday of your life.
yeah, worst Tuesday of my life. And I wanted to stick to my patient process, but my emotions got the best of me. I cracked down, but I'm back on it. The Sens, this team is friggin' amazing. They're
Hey, pump the brakes. It was a win. It was a good win, but I don't know about
no, the brakes are busted. We're going down this hill at full speed here, and look,
logging at Mooney's Bay. Hey, whether they rope it off or not.
yeah, we're busting through those ropes. We're taboozining up in here, and it feels good to be a Sens fan again. Like, I can't believe it's 2:23 in the morning. I still got energy. I'm fired up about that Claude Giroux game winner in overtime.
I even asked you
Oh,
before. I called you at like, I don't know, 8:30 Eastern, and you're like, yeah, I'm already kind of tired. No, not anymore. You're energized, kid.
yeah, I certainly am. Yeah, I thought about mixing in a nap. I was like a 10:30 game again, but this is what happens when this team finally performs. Like, they were clicking in all the right spots. Like you mentioned, Cam Talbot steals a bunch of massive saves that keeps them in this. The guys you want to be scoring, Brady Tkachuk, Alex DeBrincat, Claude Giroux, they're getting it done. Tim Stützle setting them up. Thomas Chabot's playing an excellent 28 minutes a night. And you can see it. Like, what I like too, Ross, is I know I'm rambling and you try to wrap up a couple times here, and I just keep kind of tap dancing on as the curtains try to close on me here.
Oh,
But
everyone needs to smash the like button. We're not at 100 yet. Sad.
definitely smash that like button. But I love seeing DJ Smith fired up right away. Each guy coming off the ice is giving them a fist bump. They're feeling good. And this was a good road. This was a successful road trip. Like, imagine getting some sun and getting splitting the road trip here. That's got to feel good for the boys here in Ottawa, because they needed those wins in a big, big way.
Yes, they did. And
We
they
needed
are.
those wins. I needed those wins. I was on a downhill spiral.
When we wake up in the morning, who will be getting the goggles from Brady Tkachuk?
Claude Giroux.
You're in the majority here. 43% say Claude Giroux, 30% say Tim Stützle, 21% say Cam Talbot, and 7% say Thomas Chabot. And that just tells you how solid the overall performance was, that a guy who played over 28 minutes, had 2 points, is last in the voting for who gets the goggles from Brady Tkachuk. I think he'll go with Claude Giroux as well. When you're having tough times, you know it's stressful on the leaders in the room, and you know it's stressful on the new guys in the room who want to be doing more to help the team win. Claude Giroux did that and more tonight. You absolutely love it.
I do love it, Ross. I really do.
Let's get some G's in the chat on the way out. Need some G's for our boy Claude Giroux. And is my best take, and we always talk about our bad takes. We both got a
I never had a bad take in my life.
closet full of bad takes, Pilsy. Claude Giroux being at 20 points through 21 games, well on his way to getting 1,000 this year,
That's got to
might
feel good for you. Yeah.
might be my best take.
Because you've camped on that take as hard as you've camped on the Pinto over Caulfield take. And this one is a clear, easy narrative for you. So I'm happy for you, man. You deserve that.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up under an hour, so close. But Pilsy, Shane Pinto has been kind of invisible recently. Tonight, not his best game.
Yeah, I mean,
Are we worried?
no, I'm not worried because the Sens won. So I'm not worried.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna ask you that tomorrow. And you know what? Chief Burr's right. We haven't had a Pilsy parlay of the day in a while. We're gonna get one this week.
Man,
Okay?
I did a football parlay and it didn't work for me. I'm trying. Parlays are hard. If you guys want to chirp me on the parlays, hit me with a parlay that hits, and it has to be a betonline.ag parlay nonetheless. But if you guys are going to chirp, show me your winning parlays from betonline.ag, and then I will allow you to chirp. I will try to get another parlay of the day going. It is hard. I'm 1 for 4 right now. Yeah, the parlays are a cash dump for the house, Mighty Mike, not for the people, unfortunately.
The Ottawa Senators win 3-2, and we appreciate 140 of you for rocking with us at 2:30 a.m. Eastern. If you miss any of it live, you can always catch the Locked On Senators podcast and Postcast wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube. We've got a great week ahead, I'll call it, because the Ottawa Senators are coming home, and my recap video, I just put the title in, Happy Flight, as the boys will be feeling good. They lose the first 2. The wheels are falling apart, and back-to-back wins. Not both in regulation, but when you beat a Western team, it doesn't matter whether it's in regulation or overtime.
Who cares?
Who cares? A win's a win's a win, and it came with a highlight reel goal. So enjoy your night. Sleep well, Sens fans. We'll talk to you tomorrow. This has been the Postcast after dark, as it is late.
The sun's going to rise here soon, Ross. Jeez.
Hey, the sun's already risen in that breakaway effort from Claude Giroux. Giroux gets a goal and an assist. The Ottawa Senators win, and Connor Bedard is further in the rearview mirror. For Brandon Piller, I'm Ross Levitan. Appreciate everyone with the Go Sens Go in the chat. Good night. Appreciate everyone. Bert in Belgium as well. God, worldwide Sens fans. I'm already excited for this Wednesday, Sens Central Citizen. Let me say that right now. And shout out Cam Talbot. The boys should buy him a beer because he made some big saves at the right time. All right, that's enough for us today. This has been the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast following a 3-2 overtime victory for the Sens over the LA Kings from the Crypto.com arena in downtown LA. You got Sens